So, good evening, welcome, and also welcome to our new monk, BJ. He just arrived this morning, 3 a.m. With lots of difficulties. Finally, he's here. I have also asked him to introduce himself, which we will do it later after our meditation. And also apologies for this little late because of this one of our relatives, our known person who passed away at the age of 83 after 1 week of kind of complete in coma. So I have known her for over 10 years, since 2011. And from there we developed our relationship. So we got to know one another, we exchanged, and I was like both insider and outsider. Insider in a sense, whatever she wanted to share, whether that's the family problem, disputes, and unfair, she normally would share. And in the meantime, I was an outsider that I could not intervene in those affairs. So that's how we had a chance, we discussed, and almost every week I spoke with her, twice a week in fact. I like that, and she was a teacher, a lifelong teacher, and then when she became bedbound for over 2-3 years, I encouraged her to meditate, and that is not an easy job. And especially, you have been constantly working in your daily life every day, non-stop working, and you never practiced it before. And remember, she was a Buddhist, born Buddhist, right? And she worked in the school, and obviously those days all the schools were in the temple. So she was affiliated, quite well known in the temple, with the monks, worked with the monks, but never meditated. She knew the Dhammas, but never meditated. And now when she became old, like that age, it was not easy to convince her to meditate. And oftentimes she would say, okay, I will meditate. And suddenly, after a few seconds, and not in a minute, it's so difficult, I can't meditate. And oftentimes when we look at the people's opinions, we see, oh, this is a time to earn the money, and then I will do my meditation when I'm retired. And that's my, kind of a spiritual time. So that time I will concentrate on the practice of a meditation. And from the examples like her, and then I have seen a few more, that it's not a easy things to do if you haven't, practiced little early, than when you are able to do it. So that's why the practice is something that when we are able to do, we should learn. And when we are learning, and eventually, because we have learned it, and gradually it just becomes the habit. When it becomes the habit, Now, when you are sleeping alone and nobody is there, and that moment you will have more thoughts coming in, thoughts to come and bother you. At that time, this becomes your close friend. When you have this close friend, you don't need to worry at all. And what is that close friend is? The object of a meditation. Right? You just pay attention to this breath, coming in, going out, wherever you feel it, whether in your nose or in your belly. And how comforting that. And again, it seems simple as we know, but when we're practicing, we feel itchiness here and there, and we want to jump, and we want to open, or we want to stop the meditation. But that will continue until we have a right understanding of these itchiness and tingling and tickling and movements and all sort of these phenomena. Then these becomes again a close friend friend of us that helps us to maintain our awareness. Initially they were problem, because of that I can't meditate, but eventually they become the tools to make our meditation becomes stronger. And that's how when we are sleeping and you cannot move at that time, this body itself becomes a burden. You want to move but you can't move. You want to change but you can't change. And then in the meantime, a mind will be wandering and doing so many things at the same time. At that time, these becomes a tool so that we can meditate and we can keep our mind healthy, keep our mind calm and collected. And that calm and collectedness of our mind actually brings us a peace. We can die happily. There will be no trouble of dying. It becomes just another factor. And also, because of this calmness and a peaceful state of the mind, and even if we have to die or our death comes, according to the Buddhist scripture suggests that we will have a good birth, another good birth. And if possible, because of this calmness of the mind and this peaceful state of this mind, there is a possibility that we can be enlightened as well. So that's why the practice of a meditation is something that if we learn little early, it becomes a good friend of us, and that also helps us to have this wise attention to things that is happening around us, and with that again, working with that, it brings more peaceful, more stable an ability to understand the nature, how things are. And with that we can maintain calmness here, and also that leads to the liberation too. Right? So with this reflection, let's practice meditation. Okay.
Want a cushion? No, I'm alright. How long will it be?
So bring attention to the room and sitting quietly, comfortably. Relax yourself. Spend some time observing this body sitting here and now. Feel the body presence. And settle down, grounding yourself, leaving all your responsibilities aside. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just to be here and now. Whatever phenomena arises, ability to be aware of that, but we are not chasing of that phenomena. We have a platform to stand on, a primary object, the breath, whether in your nose or in your belly. Keep that in your mind and working with that. Let it be in your background and being mindful of any phenomena that arises. Whenever you feel fuzziness or lost, simply back to your background. Background object, that's the primary object, the breath. Feeling in your nose or in your belly. Although the instruction says that nothing to do, nowhere to go, we are doing a lot of things here. Consciously aware that we have this in the background as the primary object, standing as a platform, and in the meantime, with an open mind, we are observing the phenomena that arises in the moment here and now. And each phenomena that arises, try to notice how we react to it, how we are observing it. The infamous word is called reaction or response. So practice is simple like that. Having the background, the platform, and the phenomena, working with the phenomena. So continue practicing until you hear the gong around 15 minutes of this practice.